Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping right into the heart of one of nature's ultimate testing grounds, the wild savanna. This ecosystem covers roughly 20% of the Earth's surface. And sure, it's absolutely gorgeous, but it's also a relentless, pulse-pounding struggle for survival. We're going to break down the strategies of nature's fastest, toughest, and most adaptable warriors. We'll look at how different species are using speed, endurance, unity, and just straight-up extreme biology to cheat death literally every single day. Let's jump right in.
So get this. In this brutal arena, a staggering 25% of animals perish from heat, water, and food shortages alone. During the harsh dry season, vegetation dwindles down to cover just 40% of the land. Rivers shrink to these tiny, muddy pools. The savanna just watches, right? Nothing is promised. So, in an environment where even apex predators, like lions hunting in packs, only succeed in their hunts about a quarter of the time, how do the fragile and the weak actually manage to survive at all?
Well, the answer really starts with understanding the sheer environmental stress they're under. Daytime temperatures can soar above a blistering 104 degrees Fahrenheit and then violently drop below 59 degrees at night. This puts immense biological stress on, well, every living thing. Survival out here isn't just about escaping the jaws of a predator. It's this endless, grueling battle against the climate itself. Only the absolute strongest, most adapted individuals make it.
Okay, part 1. Agility. The Thompson's gazelle.
Let's look at our first warrior, the Thompson's gazelle, often called the little warrior of the savanna. They are incredibly fragile-looking creatures, weighing in anywhere from just 33 to 77 pounds. But they're packing long, lean muscles entirely built for explosive agility. Now, when you compare top speeds, the gazelle maxes out at about 50 miles per hour, which is fast, right? But it's completely outmatched by the cheetah's nearly 70 miles per hour. In a straight line, the gazelle is doomed. The cheetah can go from 0 to almost 38 miles per hour in just 3 seconds. So the gazelle's survival relies on a totally different tactic, lightning-fast 90-degree turns without losing a drop of speed. They use this wild zigzag tactic, throwing in high jumps while running, basically forcing the cheetah to constantly hit the brakes, change direction, and completely burn through its energy reserves.
And when a herd of, say, 10 to 50 gazelles senses danger, they don't just run away. They do something called pronking. They literally leap straight up into the air. This immediately scatters the group in a dozen different directions. Because a cheetah can typically only chase a single prey for a few seconds before it gets completely gassed out, pronking makes it nearly impossible for the cat to lock onto one specific target. It's just a spectacular symphony of coordinated defense.
And honestly, the stakes couldn't be higher. If that cheetah actually manages to get within 20 meters, its final pounce comes with a fatal bite force of up to 500 psi. That's instant death for a gazelle, no question. Yet, despite this devastating weapon, the gazelle's mastery of agility, the zigzagging, the pronking, it all reduces the cheetah's hunting success rate to a mere 50%. The gazelle basically survives by making itself the absolute most frustrating, energy-draining meal on the plains.
So, that brings up a really fascinating evolutionary question. What happens when an animal actually outlives the very predator that forced it to evolve its speed in the first place? To answer that, we're going to leave the African savanna for a bit and travel over to the vast grasslands of North America.
Part 2. Endurance. The pronghorn.
Enter the North American pronghorn, officially the second fastest land animal in the world. Their slender legs act like literal springs, bouncing across the plains. But their biology is actually this incredible living ghost print. See, they're the evolutionary victors of an ancient arms race against the now extinct North American cheetah. While modern African cheetahs are sprinters, hitting 70 miles per hour but completely gassing out in about 30 seconds, the pronghorn is nature's ultimate marathon runner. It can maintain an astonishing average speed of 40 miles per hour for up to 4 solid miles. They aren't just fast, they are practically tireless. Today, their main predator is the gray wolf, which tops out at about 37 miles per hour, which is, well, simply not enough to catch a pronghorn. To understand why, you just have to look at their biological cheats. The pronghorn has an oversized heart and lungs, literally twice the size of other animals in their weight class, pumping massive amounts of oxygen. They also boast a 320-degree field of vision, letting them spot danger up to 4 miles away. So when a gray wolf gives chase, the pronghorn just throws in a few 6-foot leaping zigzags and easily leaves the wolf completely exhausted in the dust. They are the perfect embodiment of survival through sustained endurance.
Part 3. Unity. The wildebeest migration. All right, shifting our focus back to Africa, we find an entirely different evolutionary superpower. If the gazelle relies on agility and the pronghorn relies on endurance, the wildebeest relies on the absolute unstoppable strength of the herd. Their lives are a testament to collective survival. I mean, they move like a living river of millions across the plains just to find fresh grass and water. And the Mara River crossing, it isn't just some casual swim. It's a highly coordinated military operation that unfolds in 3 critical steps. First, the weak have to adapt instantly. Newborn calves weighing just 44 to 55 pounds learn to stand and run within minutes of birth so they don't fall behind. Second, the adults instinctively form these physical protective barriers right around the calves to shield them. And finally, strong leaders step up to guide the group, choosing the safest paths to literally plunge into the rushing waters. They move as one single massive organism.
And they have to move as one because the Mara River is a lethal battleground. Waiting for them in that fast-flowing water are Nile crocodiles that weigh a terrifying 1,500 pounds and measure up to 18 feet long. When the wildebeest plunge in, absolute chaos erupts. The crocodiles strike with terrifying precision. It's a grueling trial, and yes, there are heavy losses. But because they cross in such overwhelming numbers, literally pushing each other forward to fight and escape, the herd itself survives. It really is the raw beauty and ferocity of the wild on full display.
Part 4. Extreme Adaptation. The Oryx.
Moving away from the grassy plains and right into the punishing deserts of Africa and the Middle East, we meet our final warrior, the oryx. If the other animals we've talked about are masters of movement, the oryx is a true master of internal biological adaptation. While a typical animal absolutely has to rely on dangerous direct water sources where predators love to lurk, the oryx completely flips the script on how it hydrates. In temperatures exceeding 50 degrees Celsius, an oryx can survive for days without drinking a single drop of liquid water. Instead, its digestive system is perfectly optimized to extract every possible molecule of moisture from scarce desert grasses and leaves. It's wild.
But extracting water is one thing. How does an animal avoid fatal heat stroke in 50 degrees Celsius heat? Well, the oryx actually has a built-in biological air conditioning system. It uses a unique blood circulation mechanism that literally cools its blood before that blood even reaches the brain. This totally prevents heat damage and keeps the oryx completely alert, flexible, and ready to defend itself under the brutal desert sun. It's just an absolute marvel of natural engineering.
So the absolutely crucial point we're left with as we wrap up this explainer is this. We've seen the 90-degree turns of the gazelle, the endless marathon of the pronghorn, the unstoppable living river of the wildebeest, and the desert-defying biology of the oryx. These are nature's absolute peak performers. Yet, they are pushed to their absolute limits every single day just to survive. It begs a huge question. If the strongest and fastest have to fight this hard, how fragile is the balance that keeps this entire magical ecosystem alive? It's a really profound reminder of the delicate interconnectedness of life. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive through the source material, and as always, keep questioning the incredible world around us.